I'm Joshua Bardwell, and if you watch my channel regularly, then you're not going to learn anything new today because you already know what my favorite FPV camera is. I flew 3 copters the day I recorded this footage. One of them was the QQ190 with its stock CMOS camera on it, which I think is pretty bad. I talked more about that in my review of the QQ190. The next was the Shuriken X1, which has an 1177 on it, which is somewhat better, but still not spectacular. And the third one was the QAV-R, my main copter that I fly most of the time, with the RunCam Eagle on it. And I know some of you might be a little bit tired of hearing me talk about the RunCam Eagle. I really try not to feel like I'm shoving it down your throats, but the differences between these 3 cameras today were so stark that I could not resist making one more video about it. And I think it really demonstrates why this camera is so good. Here we're looking at the QQ190 with its sort of low-end CMOS camera, and you'll see as I turn to face the sun, everything just goes really black, dark, muddy. It's very difficult to figure out where I'm going, and we see right there, it's very hard to even see what I know this place really well, and I could kind of fly it in my sleep, so that helps. But if this was an unfamiliar place, I would really be in trouble in moments exactly like this. Oh my gracious, look. Well, you can't even see to make the turn. So that's not great. Now we're looking at the Shuriken X1, which has an 1177 style CCD camera on it. CCD cameras typically have better light handling and so forth than CMOS cameras, and you can see that this one is still really struggling in this scenario. To be fair, this is one of the most challenging scenarios you could ask a camera to deal with the sun right on the horizon and facing right into it like that. The CMOS camera on the QQ190 struggled. The CCD camera on the Shuriken is struggling, and there you go. And here we've got the RunCam Eagle, and I think it'll be very clear why this is my favorite camera. There is some image distortion due to the sharpening algorithm, but look at a scenario like this where we are facing into the sun and there was still some ground detail in the shadows. It didn't just become a big muddy mess. Overall, the image looks brighter than the others. And there's just way more dynamic range. There you go, right there. You could still see some details in the shadow there facing into the sun. Despite the fact that this image is not as contrasty and that it has some of that sharpening distortion, the ability of the camera to make the absolute best out of such a challenging situation as facing into the sun like that, where the other cameras just absolutely fall down, is why this is my favorite. I'll let you keep watching this flying. You can leave your own opinions in the comments. I'm sure many people have very strong opinions. One thing I will say before I sign off, because people always ask, what about latency? How's the latency on the Eagle? I got to tell you, I don't notice it. I've gone back and forth between copters, flying the Eagle and flying the 1177. I was flying UTT Tsunami the other day, going back and forth between various copters. I didn't notice it. Now, you could blame that on my screwy piloting, I guess, but for me, the latency is not a factor. Anyway, there you go. That's the last I'll say about the RunCam Eagle until the next time it really smacks me over the head with how freaking good it is, and then I won't be able to resist making another video. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy flying.